We've got some pores in here, some different skin tones from the forehead to the back of the head. Um, they should kind of blend together. Try not to do what I'm doing here. The only reason that is happening because I have a mouse, not a tablet, my Wacom tablet. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on skin tones. So before we get started on that, let's go to Photoshop, and you guys are going to look at different skin types. So you're going to spend a good half hour grabbing some material. These are some skin colors here that I have from a different tutorial, but you'll see what we're going to do with those different tonalities. Um, Probably go ahead and hide that. So what I want you guys to do is try to find as many types of skin variations of the age of the person that you're working with, and try to find the range of the ethnic type to the age to the skin color, and try to find a library of colors. Also, maybe even look at what skin looks like really close, like blemishes. Some of these are epidermal, some of these are dermal images, but study as much as you can on these different types of skin. So these are beautiful liver spots, and then you've got, here you've got indications of blue showing veins, yellow, orange, red, and this will make sense once we start going further and further into our study. So right here is a beautiful shape of some veins. So obviously that would be blue, and that's something that we can bump up on texture also. So these are going to be all kind of scattered on top of each other. You see some really high reds here. Liver spots are actually protruding, not just laying flat. So every skin type is different, but I want you guys to spend a half hour, and if you're actually doing a real character, you would spend hours upon hours researching the back history, scars, and all kinds of cool things that you can tell about a person's face. This one's pretty cool, showing a young person, middle age, and then as they get older, how our skin changes. But you can see blue, the vein here is prominent all the way through. So definitely stop here. We'll probably stop it probably at not 7:30, but 8:30, and have you guys really spend a half hour looking for those things. And what we'll do is we'll start doing color picker and try to find out what those colors are, and start making a library of colors here, so you can find the RGB value, and then you'll see that will make sense once we jump into Substance Painter. All right, so I want to jump back in, and we're going to go ahead and start adding some default color. So again, we're just probably going to spend a week on this, but not too long. I don't want to bore you guys. There's so much to learn on this. There's so many great tutorials out there also if you really want to start digging into how to build up skin. But it's just like painting like a oil painting. You do all these undertones of painting. You don't just squeeze out a tube and paint skin tone. It's all multiple layers. So we're going to go ahead and add a layer here. All right. So one of the things that we are concerned about now is just a color. All right. So before we were worried about all our different types of skin underneath, but now we're starting to add color. So we're just going to go ahead to our base color. And I already have a base color that you guys can, I'll probably put this out, and this is kind of a skin tone that you can start with, and I just go ahead and grab it. Now you don't have to use this, you can kind of start with other colors, and you can see right here I can Command V and start off with color. Now you can pull this around and move it around. Obviously you don't want blue, well, you could have blue skin, whatever. So this is a good skin tone to start with. We're not going to do anything crazy with it other than that we turned everything off except for color. This is kind of the base skin color that we're going to use. We knocked off the metal, the roughness, the metal, so it's not so shiny. And so as we zoom in and out and we go across the face, you can start to see that material starting to do its thing. And we're using SS material. This is the skin color, so that is a certain material that we're using. All right, so we're going to duplicate this layer, or we could just make a whole new one. Let's go ahead and duplicate that layer. And for this one, we're going to go to our skin color. We're going to go back to our Word document, and we're going to grab this color. It's a little bit darker. You don't have to use this. You can pick your own color. It's fine. Click on here and hit Command V and paste that in there. All right, so we have kind of a peachy and a darker tone. So before we have also done like a dirty pass and stuff like that in the crevices, but now we're going to use the ambient occlusion that was baked on here. So we're going to go ahead, right click, and add a bitmap mask. It's going to give us this option of our ambient occlusion. This is what it baked out at the very beginning. It did a normal map and all those different passes. So we're just going to go ahead and click on that. And you can see that it's added color to it. So if we turn it on and off, you can see this ambient occlusion is kind of baked on there. So what we want to do is add a filter to this. So we're going to add levels to that, and we can play around with these levels. Again, if I turn this on and off, you can see kind of it's gradually all over it, but we want to be a little bit more radical. So we're going to click on here, and we can add where we want it. So I would just kind of put it in here. Let's see what happens. Turn it on and off. So we switch it around. We can start to see that. We also want to invert that too, so that our darkness is in these little crevices. All right. I know you're thinking this is actually crazy and looking really crazy, but again, this is all about adding layers, and later we can downgrade that to 20%. But we do want to go ahead and add those levels so we can actually see it. So we're going to really start adding a lot of garish colors on top of it, but at the very end we're going to start to level things in and out. All right, so with this one, all we did was add two different skin tones, and the big thing was looking at making our library, like at least, hopefully you guys get like 30 or 40 images related. So again, grab them. If you're grabbing them and they have a watermark, that's fine. We're not making money off of it. It's just for educational purposes only. We're just using them to help give you some ideas for color and so forth. So I'm going to stop there. Hopefully we'll get to this level tomorrow. We'll maybe add maybe 2 or 3 more layers of color slowly and start using different types of brushes. Hopefully I will have a Wacom tablet, so I'm not sitting here with a mouse. All right, we'll stop there. This is looking pretty good.